Honestly, appreciate all the hard work you guys are putting. I know it's been a lot of change.
Yeah, no, I'll sit down with you as well before the meeting and show you some of the stuff we're doing.
I'm a little worried about our head coach's work ethic.
This is the epitome American work ethic versus everybody else.
Speedway Classic, the MLB's first game at a racetrack and the first in Tennessee. Two great American cultural pillars right here getting combined into one thing. And Talladega Nights really was sort of America trying to establish its dominance over Europe in the way that we just saw Tom Brady try to do that with Wayne Rooney.
What? That's my honest opinion. If it's third and short, he's not a power back. I be telling him that in the locker room, but he's so.
I thought it was genius reporting by Tyreek.
Is this some actual real beef bubbling up here, or is that Mike McDaniel just continuing to be his little jokey, whatever his personality is, head coach coming out of Bears camp?
Oh, no!
Jared Allen, the great pass rusher, had a pretty cool Hall of Fame speech. It kind of comes back to Scottie Scheffler stuff about family and what's most important.
The two most important decisions you'll make in life is one, whether you follow Jesus or not, and two is who you marry. To my amazing daughters, you two are my legacy.
Surprise, actually no surprise, Micah Parsons officially requesting a trade from the Dallas Cowboys. He did the classic. This is the classic. Putting the Notes app screenshot up on Twitter or on Instagram. I love when you see people do this because then you just know, hey, they're just like us, man. I also write things in my Notes app. And he's writing a big, important message here. We don't have to read the whole thing, but essentially what he says here is that he wanted to be in Dallas. He tried to make it work in Dallas. He had some conversations in the offseason, with Jerry, and what he felt were basically casual conversations and starting to talk about the contract. And that Jerry interpreted those as, okay, these are the contract negotiations. No reason to talk to the agent. We've got it. It's basically a done deal. And then when the agent comes along to try and actually do the negotiation, Jerry's like, no, I already talked to Micah. That's Micah's side of the story and why he seems to be so upset that there was sort of this perhaps taking advantage of him within the negotiation process with his agent not being involved. What do you guys make of this and his big release here?
You gotta be careful what you say. I mean, especially when you're talking to your boss. You could have a great cordial relationship, friendship, some may say, or you may be interpreting it that way. But everything you say, I don't want to say it's incriminating yourself, but you have to be careful in every word that you use when you're talking to somebody like an NFL owner. Right. It's just, I get the sense that he probably got caught in that feeling of comfort, friendship comfort, and may have said some things that the agent probably wouldn't have agreed to. So I think it's just tough because when you do say things like that, which I assume he did, if Jerry's acting that way, it's tough, man. It's tough to climb out of that hole.
Yeah. Also, it's just because we saw Jerry talk about how he watched the Big 12 championship with Micah, his whole family. He watched some of the Super Bowl with him. And you're thinking okay, this is getting weird because you guys are negotiating, but you're doing kind of personal relationship things. Was Jerry doing that to kind of finesse Micah? What? It just gets into a really weird gray area. So I could see this coming out to a head of Micah kind of getting taken advantage of, Jerry maybe thinking that he's gonna get over on this young kid who he's close to, who wants to be with the Cowboys. But I don't know. Do you think that Jerry was actually trying to finesse him in this process?
I want to say no, but there's got to be a level of some subconscious businessman that's always functioning in his mind. You don't get to the level of success that Jerry has, without having that always kind of clicking in the back of your mind in every interaction you have with a person. And you're always trying to find an angle, a business opportunity, things along those lines. So I got to imagine that may have been a subconscious mechanism going on, but I wouldn't say it was front facing. And I don't think he probably meant to do that. It just ended up happening that way, which sucks because, if you're going to do this from a Micah perspective, you also have to start thinking in the businessman perspective, like Jerry, kind of have him rub off on you a little bit. So when you are having these conversations with somebody like Jerry or an owner or somebody with the capital that is paying you, always having that in the back of your mind when you're approaching those conversations is probably a good this is a tough learning lesson, I would say. If this is true.
If true, right here, this person just quotes me. The Diana Rossini, who does a lot of good reporting for the NFL, like basically reported what we talked about there at with his notes app announcement. This person says the NFLPA should work on creating real punishment for teams trying to circumvent agents. And I mean, I think if that is actually the case and actually what's happening, yeah, absolutely. If a player wants his agent involved, like, yeah, the team has to respect that and negotiate in good faith with the agent, not try and take advantage of these young guys who, like, their skill is playing football on the football field. Their skill is not doing high level business negotiation, contract negotiations. Unless you're Lamar Jackson, apparently, or Lamar's mom.
Lamar's mom is the best agent out there.
Yeah.
Micah should get Lamar's mom to negotiate his contracts. Yeah, so this is kind of a mess right now. What do you think? Do you think that Mike is going to get traded? I mean, he's demanding it, but also don't forget, Myles Garrett also demanded a trade, and then he got his big contract that he wanted. So, do we think that it's actually going to go down?
I don't think so. I think this is going to end up being a Micah situation as well. It's Micah, or excuse me, that Miles situation. I think it's Micah. It's Micah putting Jerry on notice. Putting his feet to the fire of call it the media. Not that his feet haven't been to the fire in the media for decades, but like it's just another pressure point that I think Micah, he's playing that card. Jerry's response was pretty mellow. He said, like, I wouldn't lose sleep over this if you're a Cowboys fan. Now that could have been like, oh, we don't need this guy, he's not a true Cowboy sort of speak. Or it could be that, oh, trust me, I knew this was coming down the pipe. I was waiting for this, and then we'll get to deeper levels of negotiations beyond this. Now that he pulled this card,
I believe it's the latter, and I learned that term from Scott. It is the latter, the second. I think Jerry really wants
you can't start using that, Nick, because now you're both going to start using it, and I'm going to have no idea what anybody's talking about.
I know. Mike, I used to be on your side, but I started practicing saying former or the latter here in my day-to-day life, so now I can say it on the podcast, and I'm pretty sure I got it right. Okay.
Well done.
I didn't go to Yale. Okay. So a little bit, let's call it a little bit of beef there in Dallas Cowboys land. We'll see what happens. But speaking of beef, there's a little bit of possible beef bubbling up in Miami. Okay. With Mike McDaniel and Tyreek Hill, both with just like some little comments at the press conference, just like, what's going on here? Because also don't forget, there were also things coming out about the Miami Dolphins organizations of like, Mike McDaniels has no control over this organization. People are just showing up late. He actually doesn't really command respect. Everyone thought it was all cool and fun when he was just being this young, hip coach walking around and dapping guys up when they were winning. But now that they're pretty much plateaued or regressed a little bit, spotlight's on them.
Take Devon out on third down. What? You want him? That's my honest opinion. If it's third and short, he's not a power back. I be telling him that in the locker room, but he a power back. I love Devon though, but if I'm being honest, like that's why you got Jalen Wright. That's why you got Ollie Gordon for those kind of situations.
I thought it was genius reporting by Tyreek, seeing how we had a short yardage period that very day that you guys were in attendance for, and his suggestion was, I guess, congruent with Coach Stutesville. That's exactly how we repped the backs in that short yardage period that very day. But we thought it was funny that he reported the news that wasn't news on that practice day in that short yardage period that you guys were all there too for. I thought
little style at the end,
little snarky. He's basically trying to tell Mike McDaniel what to do. Yeah. And Mike McDaniel was like, cool, Tyreek, thank you for your really, really good advice to me, the head coach of the football team. I can't tell. Is this some actual like real beef bubbling up here? Or is that Mike McDaniel just continuing to be his little jokey, whatever his personality is, head coach?
I don't think that's real beef. I think that's the extent of how hard he could discipline a guy like Tyreek, who's this kind of star player on his team, because he is such a player's coach that, like, I don't really think he's a guy that can lay down the hammer, especially on someone like Tyreek. So I think this is the extent of his pushback on him.
I would agree with Mikey, because most of what we've seen from McDaniel is that he is a player's coach, and he'll go to deep levels to connect with dudes and keep it at that, so that they feel as though they're a part, I hate using the word family when we're talking about business and
We're family
organizations and all that, but like it does tighten the bond a little bit if he's interacting with his players in that way. But there have been a lot of things, especially toward the end of last year with Tyreek tweets or what he was doing post game, taking jerseys off or like saying he's out, all that kind of stuff. So like there had been, I can imagine that probably rubbed a lot of dudes in the locker room the wrong way. Tua being one of them, I think as well, because I think what the media is doing is quoting Tua all the time, talking about his use of the word antics, Tyreek's antics, all that kind of stuff, which I don't think is a bad definition for Tua to use for what Tyreek was doing at the end of the year. Like, hey, dude, get it together. Like, let's not go the route of Antonio Brown and start doing that stuff. So, I think there's a level of frustration from the organization. Mike McDaniel, like, yes, that may be to the level in which he's going to approach this at this point in time, because they're trying to like rekindle the relationship or rebuild what was there prior to the end of last year. So like, I think they're kind of slow playing this or tiptoeing around it and giving coaching advice from the player. It's like certain guys can do that. If you got the head of a Peyton Manning, but
not Tyreek. I'm not going to listen to Tyreek. I've seen his judgment. All right. Listen, I do have a problem with some of these like aging wide receivers who were superstars. And it's like Tyreek Hill was essentially half as productive last year as he was the previous year. I think he had like 1,700 plus yards the previous 2 years. And then he was like, 900 yards last year, like half as many touchdowns. So worry about what you're doing on the football field, bro. Like something about aging wide receivers who still think that they're in their prime and still think they're that guy and can still talk like this bothers me. Does that bother you guys?
A little bit. Do you think that's actually partly why he's going this route is because his numbers were down? Like, do you think he needs to compensate for that? Or is that like in his mind, He's like, okay, I'm not getting my numbers. They're not speaking for me as loudly as usual. So should I do that?
I don't know. It is so hard when it's so hard to judge motivations when like the external circumstances change. It's like when somebody's like on top of their game, like Tyreek was those last couple of seasons, you'd be like, okay, maybe your intentions should be a little bit more pure, but now you're not performing to where you have been previously. So everything that you say can be like, okay, why are you saying this now? What's the intention here? So it just could be perceived that way. That's all I'm saying.
Like a locker room can take on a character like that, or somebody who's detracting or enervating the locker room or in the team, and it's pushed forward so long as they're producing. But when that enervation comes through and you're not performing, that's when it could potentially start becoming that cancerous sort of involvement in the locker room and what it does to a team organization. So it's like he's walking a tightrope here and dancing on it. So I think that's just McDaniel. This is his annoyance phase, and that's his annoyance mood, I think, coming out right there.
There it is. All right. Speaking of dancing, let's go to a quarterback who's been known to have some flamboyant characteristics. Caleb Williams. Okay. And I know we're just in camp here, what have you, but, and I'm going to stand by this. I think the things that we are seeing from Caleb Williams, they do worry me. And we're seeing more and more of them. Now, granted, he does have a hyper big magnifying glass on him, and a lot of people, it's kind of easy to throw criticism at him, but I think there's justification for that. Let's take a look at some of the plays that are coming out of Bears camp here and some of his reactions. See what we got here, Scott.
Oh, no.
Okay, just bad decision making. Don't throw up a jump ball to a double covered guy. Just throw it away, maybe. But then
I think he was trying to throw it away, but he was just a lackadaisical practice throwaway. Yeah,
maybe
giving him the benefit of the doubt. That was bad pickup by the running back for sure. But at the same time, you can't. I think that's part of the reason why we're so hard on him is we've also seen, especially last year, the dude held onto the ball. I think this tweet's saying it. It's like there's a certain amount of time as an NFL quarterback, unless you're Lamar Jackson and you have wheels like that, in which you should hold onto the ball or let it go or throw it away, whatever it is. But Caleb had like 2x to that, and there just wasn't the same sort of production coming out of that 2x that, as I mentioned, like a Lamar Jackson or a Josh Allen necessarily produce when they do that. Yes. So like it's just this right here. Yeah, it may not have been his fault, but you got to throw it into the ground or throw it toward the sideline, not toward the numbers. Like that's That's a
Yes.
bad move right there.
That's a bad move.
That he's spiking this in frustration after getting 5 seconds to throw here. That's absurd. This is
This one I
That's
think is
crazy.
even worse. Yes, because also like first there's open guys. Like let this play out and look at the receiver cutting across there. Like I can see that. Granted, I have a good bird's eye view here, but like guy's open here, and he just I mean that's been his issue. Is he's kind of notorious for holding onto the ball, and that's something that they wanted to fix with Ben Johnson coming in. It was like a key emphasis for Caleb Williams. Like, hey, got to get the ball out. We got to get some of these timings better on the same page, and it's just like, are we not seeing it? And then, Mike, to what you said, then the whiny spike. And there's another one here that we've got of the quarterbacks in drills.
Yeah.
And Caleb missing every single one and then stomping off. Do you think he's
oh
serious?
my god!
Or is
Who
that
are you mad at?
You gotta hear it.
Still target? Oh my god! What?
Is he joking or is he real? He can't, if you're the court, you can't be serious, right? He's kidding, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think this has to be just a little bit of an embellishment. Like, that's got to be frustrating, especially if you're a starting quarterback in the NFL, to not hit any of those in the net. But yeah, I think this is just the sassiness of Caleb coming out. And he's not helping himself, though. This was a tough weekend for him.
Yeah, a lot of stuff coming out of camp. Again, it's camp, I know. But there's something going on that just feels like it's not clicking under the current circumstances that we thought maybe it would click a little bit more. Don't you think?
This is just a personal take. All of this is personal, but thinking about like a leader and a quarterback, you know, there's something that's more, I don't want to say intimidating, but more admirable from a guy who, when they know they're messing up, they don't react in that way, right? It's more of an internal digestion of what's going wrong. And then it may be more of a verbal thing, but like the tantrum sort of body language is not conducive. And I don't think a lot of guys on the team, or there may be a number of guys on the team that see that subconsciously and just like, what are you doing, man? Just like get your shit together and perform. Like you don't have to throw a tantrum.
Yeah, the external performing like that. It goes back to the guys who like drop a pass and do the push-ups. Just like stop it. Stop performing externally. You can be annoyed at yourself, but be an adult about it. Just silently fume like a grown-up.
Nick, I have a little quick story about Bruno, who is the head coach of the best team in Italy, the Parma Panthers. Okay, we won the championship. But he has this thing, which I didn't understand was one of his, go-tos as a coach. At practice, if you drop a ball or have an MA or something, he yells, "Get stronger," and then you're supposed to stop and do push-ups in the middle of practice or in the middle of the play. And when I got there, I think I dropped a pass or something during a team, and he said, "Get stronger." To me, I go, "Oh, good coaching point." Like yelled that back to him. I didn't realize what he was saying. I was like, "What? What are you doing?" And then after practice, he told me what that meant, and I was supposed to do some push-ups. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's." I didn't agree with that. I don't agree with that on any level, but it was really funny that's how he initiates that. Get stronger.
Lost in translation.
Yeah.
It's also hilarious that you responded, "Oh, good coaching point." Yeah, thanks. Small.
I talk a lot of crap to coaches who yell things that aren't like technique advice and actually things that make you better, like the "let's go" coaches, or let's have a day kind of coaching.
It's like when Andy Bernard says to Jim, "Hey, when we get out there, let's try our best, okay?"
Yeah.
Like, really need to be said. Good advice. Get stronger. All right, let's go to another quarterback in the sophomore class, Jayden Daniels. Okay, and his mom kind of famously made a lot of headlines last year. Well, he's having a sensational rookie season, and then his mom comes out with some of these quotes of like, "Yeah, he is not distracted by girls at all. Like no girls allowed right now while he's focusing on football." And it was a little bit like endearing, but also like, all right, isn't he like an adult man, like who plays in the NFL? And then now his mom sort of crashing his interview here. Let's play this, and I want to get your guys' thoughts.
What has mom meant for you, for your career? Because I know she's there, she's supporting you. She's here at training camp in the Daniels t-shirt. How much has she provided the support to help you do what you've done so far?
She does all right, and now I'm playing. I mean, it's my mom. She's a mom first. She's always going to be there to, uplift me. But if I'm doing wrong, she's going to let me know. So even though I'm 24 years old, I'm still a grown man, but I still got to listen to my mom at some point.
Doing right. That's beautiful.
I need to hear how proud you are of him. Come over here and you can talk into my mic. Just real quick. Sorry, Jayden.
You're all good.
This is too good.
I'm very proud, proud of him, the athlete, the man you guys see, and, you always need your mamas around. So.
Right.
Are you here every day at camp?
No.
Not every day.
Trust me, they'll tell you when I'm here.
First of all, I just gotta say, 24 years old is not a grown man. Okay. I think you're not a grown man until you're 35. I'm 2 years away from being a grown man. Okay. I think that's wrong. Okay. That's wrong. I disagree.
Frontal lobe isn't even developed at 24.
Yeah. It's not a grown man. Okay. Maybe legally. Okay. Scott, what's your take on that as the most grown man here?
I mean, we're talking about soft athletes, soft generation, everything. That is the epitome. Thinking that you're not an adult until 35. Yeah, frontal lobe is developed at 25, 26. So he's this close. He's 99.5% of the way there. Like, come on, dude. But this is just weird. Like, look, we all love our moms. Obviously, if you don't, you got a problem. But at the same time, when you're amongst peers and amongst grown-ass men with families and at an organization and at the pinnacle that Jayden is approaching right now as an NFL QB with the success he had in his rookie year, I don't know how front-facing this needs to be, right? Like, I don't like that she looked at the camera at the end and the answer right there at the end kind of was really telling, being like, yeah, if I'm here, they'll let you know.
Yeah. Yes.
That's kind of
it rubs me the wrong way. It really rubs me the wrong way. It just couple that with those quotes coming out about her and him, and just it just doesn't feel good. It's just like, and this would it does get a little overshadowed. Thank goodness he had a great rookie season, because if he didn't, like, imagine if Caleb Williams had a parent coming, his mom was coming, and it's like, first of all, bro, play better. At least he played well. But then the mom comes in and is all sort of a distraction here and kind of tries to make it about herself and crashing the interview. It feels weird.
The messaging, though, I'm totally cool with the messaging.
Yes.
Like, having your parents help you guide you through this process, especially if they've been there before, right? So, like, I don't know what the father situation is, but if she's helping him guide and navigate the waters of groupies and NFL groupies and all that kind of stuff, like, cool. Like, if she's helping block those things, but it doesn't have to be so front facing. Like I'm saying, like, she doesn't have to be like going out with him on weekday nights or weekend nights and like the paparazzi or the media capturing that and her being on a date with him. That's where it starts getting a little weird.
Yes.
Because he is a grown man. Like, he is a grown man. Like,
no, you're right. I'm with you. I'm just being funny, just being silly. Okay. He's a grown man. Okay.
More or less.
Yeah.
But also, we've talked on this show about age inflation, and a 24-year-old now is not the same as a 24-year-old in 1930. It's different.
Yes.
Because there's more information available. It's because development, or like 100 years ago, to develop, you just had to learn all the information of how it would take to operate in your town. And then now you're like, oh, I know everything. I know where the store is. I know, like, that's all the information that you have access to. Now you have access to all the information. You got to feel like you have an understanding of the world is such a more delayed, takes way longer because there's
but that's an unnecessary development, because you can only affect that which is in your sphere of influence. And everybody who's thinking that they should be worried about what's going on in the world, yes, to a certain degree, but can you affect change in that direction outside of your community? No. So you focus on your community, develop yourself, and that's bucking responsibility upon yourself to grow up and take responsibility for the moment in time and learn and develop yourself quickly.
Sort of a clean your own.
What about
room
that? We are connected with everybody in the world now, so you kind of do have
digitally, though. That's not connection. That's not real. That's not real effective change. It's a digital environment that's a hollow hologram of reality.
I'll agree. That's good.
So okay.
What do you think? That's a good explanation though for why they like the modern development is larger, because we have so much more information now.
I think that's an interesting theory.
Something to it.
Prolonged adolescence, essentially.
Yeah, I would say you're right, Mikey. I think it's a perceived, like, people feel that, but it's not reality, but they feel like it is reality. It's like that perception becomes reality. So they think they're like stuck mentally, but they're really not. If they took responsibility on themselves, realize that that's not real life, the digital world, the connection, all that kind of stuff, and living your life in the moment and affecting change in your community is so much more effective in your development, in the community's development, and then ultimately the world's.
It goes back to the Jordan Peterson: clean your own room before you try and fix the world, right? Sort of this, right?
Stand up with your shoulders back.
Sorry, you're right. I got to check my posture. Lobsters. All right. No, I'm just kidding. Well, let's talk about a guy who maybe needs a little bit more development and needs to act a little more mature. Shedeur Sanders. All right. That was just a little transition to get him in here, because apparently word on the street is somebody in the Browns quarterback room is going to get traded. The Browns did hold Shedeur Sanders out of team drills today. And this guy, Kurt Banker, who played in the NFL for a few years, like pretty.
Yeah, let's double check credentials.
Yeah, there. Check the credentials. 190, former NFL QB, teaching and talking ball. Oh, he's got a course. You want to buy his course? Nah, I don't want to buy his course.
$60? $60 course? Let me tell you, this guy is a chump.
So there, but he says this is what they do before a trade. And we did hear rumors that, and it makes sense. We talked about it even before there were rumors. Like, they've got 4 quarterbacks in the quarterback room. They got to probably get rid of one of them. Do you, Scott, as a resident Browns fan here, would you feel comfortable, or do you feel like that would be, if you had to trade away one of the quarterbacks in that room, would you go with Shedeur?
Well, you asked me the question, like, who had the best trade capital, and I said Kenny, because he has experience, because he's been tested in starting NFL games before, and he hasn't performed to the level that people probably wanted him to, especially Pittsburgh and everything like that, but he still performed to a certain degree that shows, like, oh, okay, this guy definitely belongs in the NFL and may have a resurgence similar to like a Geno Smith or a Baker or something like that if he were to end up in the right scenario. Browns, never the right scenario, especially for a guy like that. Run away fast. Shedeur, like, I hate to say it, because the draft capital for him, it's bringing media attention, as I've mentioned before too, because the media just wants the clicks. They know they're going to get the clicks when they write about Shedeur and they pump him up and do all this kind of stuff. So there's non-financial capital that you can gain for a team when you trade a guy like this. It's going to get eyeballs. It's going to get media attention. It's going to get all that stuff. So it does make sense that he may be the guy that they go ahead and ship off or trade out here before the start of the season. I just don't know if they will, because they themselves need that sort of non-financial capital at the organization as much as possible. So I'm not surprised by these rumors, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they came true.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you mean. I mean, he brings that media attention. It brings a little bit of kind of excitement, and people like to talk about him. Look, we're talking about him right now, the apparent 4th string quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, but he does interest people. I feel like I would trade Kenny. I feel like Joe should be your starter, and I feel like Shedeur will beat out Dylan Gabriel for the 2nd string spots. I mean, isn't that what we're kind of hearing also out of Browns camp, that Shedeur's looking better than Dylan Gabriel? Are you hearing that?
Yeah, but again, I don't know if that's like the smoke and mirrors of the media because of what I was just talking about, or if it's reality. But yeah, I've been generally hearing that same thing. At the end of the day, you want a very, very stable backup quarterback, which I think Kenny kind of fits that bill. So I would be sad if they shipped him off, especially because Joe, while he has stretches of great football play, he also, at his age, can kind of fall in a slump, and it's very difficult to get out of that. So you always want to have like a backup guy that can come in and sort of steady things. And then I think you got to keep one of the young guys obviously on to develop within a locker room or a QB room with guys that have experience like Flacco and Kenny Pickett. So at this point, I don't know if you're going to have the same sort of trade capital if you trade Dylan, but you'll still get that young quarterback that you're trying to mold that you decided to take before Shedeur.
Well, yeah, I mean, everyone's confused about their draft process, and now they are probably going to trade one of them away.
Yeah.
So who knows what you Cleveland Browns are going to do, Scott? Okay, we had the Hall of Fame game last week, And obviously, we had 4 guys inducted into the Hall of Fame. One of them was Jared Allen, the great pass rusher. And he had a pretty cool Hall of Fame speech. And I think we should just play it because also it kind of comes back to what we were talking about with like the Scottie Scheffler stuff about family and what's most important. So let's play this.
And to my wife, I'm reminded of what Tom Lanphier said when we were going through our premarital counseling. He said the 2 most important decisions you'll make in life is 1, whether you follow Jesus or not, and 2 is who you marry. Because there's only 2 types of people. There's boat anchors who drag you down, and there's people who elevate you. And you are a true game elevator. You're one of the smartest people I know. I am in awe of you every single day. And I love you more than life itself. To my amazing daughters, Brindley and Lakeland. Through this process, the word legacy has been talked about a lot. The Hall often says they're here to tell my story. Well, I'm here to tell you 2, you are my greatest accomplishments. When I get called home to heaven one day, if all they talk about is this gold jacket, my career, then I failed miserably as a father, a husband, and a friend. You 2 are my legacy. So always put Christ first, find your why, dream big dreams, and always pursue greatness in whatever you do. Thank you all, and may God bless you all.
He said it all right there. I mean, that's how you should approach, I think, not just being an athlete in today's world, but everything, every pursuit you have. Like this is what you should have in mind. Yeah, coming off the back of Scottie Scheffler and his conversation about his pursuits in the sports world are not necessarily what are fulfilling to him. It's all the other stuff. It's the foundational stuff, and that's kind of why I brought up when you had Tom Brady talking about the blocks to the pyramid and all that kind of stuff. It's like, dude, no, you're belittling the one thing that is actually the foundation of your entire life, and conflating that with a block and a pursuit that is only a fraction of your life.
Right.
So I love this message. And coming from a guy like Jared Allen, like, dude, this guy was an absolute freak of nature on the football field.
He was awesome. Also, he was like Idaho State, I think, 4th round pick, came in just blue collar dude. Also, I just like that he's 43 years old. Is he a first ballot Hall of Famer? Is this his first time being? Is he
43?
No, I think he might be second ballot.
Second ballot? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
what's the difference in the ballot? So the first ballot is
first time you're eligible, which I think for players is 5 years after you retire. So like first time you ever appear on the ballot, you get voted into the Hall of Fame. So
that's cool.
Yeah. And they changed the rules with the Hall of Fame. Like now it's even, they tightened it up. It's more, because there's only 4 inductees this year. And it goes like, I think now they have maybe 13 possibilities, 13 nominees. And then the committee, everyone gets a certain amount of votes. And if you get X amount of votes, you get in. So it could be 3 to 5 each year now. So it's really tightened up.
Yeah.
So it's pretty damn impressive.
Yeah. He was a second ballot. I just looked it up. So this is the second time he's been able to get nominated or selected and everything like that. But I was hearing a whole lot of rumors. I don't know if you guys saw this too, but everybody being kind of up in arms about the fact that Eli wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer, which there's an argument to be made. But what Jared Allen did in his position, it's like now that they've minimized the number of people, it's like somebody's got to come first. And it's not like Eli's not going to get in.
Yes. Also, here, let me push back a little on the Eli stuff. Okay. Eli, all right. He beat the Patriots and Brady and Belichick twice and won those 2 Super Bowls. Like throughout the regular season, he's essentially the inverse Lamar Jackson, where it's just like, throughout the regular season. And then he had these 2 spectacular postseason runs. And not to take anything away from that, but that's it. It's just those 2. Like you take away that, like his individual football career, I don't think is deserving of a first ballot. He will get in there, but that's my little pushback on the Eli stuff. What do you think?
Yeah, I would agree with you in the first ballot thing. If you took away the 2 Super Bowls, he would have a harder time. He'd probably still get in, but you can't take away the 2 Super Bowls.
I know.
He was the Brady Slayer. Like that's the crazy thing.
Taking away the 2 Super Bowls. I'm just saying, didn't it kind of feel lucky? Didn't it kind of feel lucky with Eli? Like he got the Super Bowls. And
some would say
The helmet catch is luck. They were lucky.
It's the luckiest thing ever.
It was
Well,
a coin flip. He won a coin flip, basically.
Yeah. So that's the only it just the accolades are there, but it just feels a little. Could he do that again?
Well, some people would say,
your postseason, your clutch game performance is more important for your legacy. You know?
It is.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah.
More so than your.
You hear that, Lamar? Okay.
Yeah, you got to learn. Got to learn. You hear that, Justin Herbert?
Jeez, yeah.
So yeah, but no. Going back to that, some would argue that then Brady's first Super Bowl, for them to get there, they had the game against the Raiders. It was the forward pass, the whole.
Yep.
That was kind of luck that the play call went one way as opposed to the other, which there's an argument to be made that was the incorrect call. And being that it was at that point in time in the NFL era, like it was what it was on the field and they move forward. And then secondarily, you look at Julian Edelman's catch during the 28-3 comeback. That in my mind was the best catch I've ever seen in football.
That was crazy.
OBJ's, that beats the helmet catch, that beats all of them. That was the most absurd catch I've ever seen in my life.
Can we pull that up again? Because I haven't watched that. Let me see if I can. Can you find it on Twitter? Because it is inspirational. Yeah. But here's the thing. Okay, so you're saying those two, a little bit of luck there. Julian Edelman one, I don't know though. Was that luck or was Julian Edelman specifically equipped with those skill sets, and that's kind of the type of receiver he was? So you can call it luck, whatever. That take away 2 of the Super Bowls. That's still
Mikey. You're gonna have to be the deal breaker here. You decide as to whether or not it was luck or skill.
Okay. Do you have it?
Okay.
Do you have it?
Here we go. 1 second.
I just feel like Julian Edelman. If anybody would have made the catch, then it's more luck. But okay.
Yeah. The fact that it's Julian Edelman, because.
Oh,
okay.
That's crazy.
The second catch.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Luck in moments like this, for a guy like Julian Edelman, who is proven, luck in moments like this is built upon a bunch of background of skill, that come to play in moments where it seems like he's not really making a decision here. He's just reacting, and his gut and his instincts are kicking in. So when you look at something that doesn't look like a conscious effort, it looks more like just a split second thing. You can call it luck easily, but it's built upon a bunch of skill building.
Yeah. Good point.
You make your own luck. I make my own luck. As who said that? Harvey Dent?
Yeah, way to quote the villain, Nick.
Well, he was a good guy for the first half of the movie. Okay. So there we have it. All right. We were talking a little bit about Brady. Can we throw this up about Brady? So Brady is partial owner in a soccer club in England. And Wayne Rooney, the great, one of the best English soccer players of all time, is the head coach there. And they're doing like this kind of, I don't know if you guys ever saw the Welcome to Wrexham series that Rob McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds did with the Wrexham soccer club. Excuse me. I will not call it football. Really successful doc series. And now they're basically trying to do the same thing here with like celebrity Tom Brady coming in as an owner and do this whole thing. This was making the rounds because Tom Brady, at the end of this clip, and we'll watch it, says that he's questioning the work ethic of their head coach, who, like I said, is Wayne Rooney, a legendary soccer player. So if you want to play this guy, 25 seconds.
So you coming into the meeting?
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, I don't want to be distracted. Like I said, I just love being here and seeing you guys, and obviously appreciate all the hard work you guys are putting. I know it's been a lot of change, but just trying to do the best we can do.
Yeah, no, I'll sit down with you as well before the meeting and show you some of the stuff we're doing.
Awesome.
He understands a little bit more.
Awesome.
Yeah, awesome.
I'm a little worried about our head coach's work ethic.
A little too lackadaisical.
I mean, I don't know. They're going to have great instincts on that.
There you go. That's good. Okay. Jeez, Wayne Rooney, just from Liverpool. He's tough to understand. Yeah. So, what do you make of Tom Brady coming in? Because I know that we don't really care as Americans. Wayne Rooney is kind of royalty over there. So then our royalty, Tom Brady, going over and just questioning his work ethic right off the bat. What do you guys make of that?
This is the epitome American work ethic versus everybody else. Royalty work ethic in somewhere outside of America is questionable in America. That's what this comes down to. It's the same thing that we talk about going over to Europe.
It's like, yeah, Europeans, they think they work hard. Yeah, I work 29 hours a week and I only have 33 vacation days.
What do you mean? I got up at 8 a.m. and I did 5 minutes on the exercise bike and I went to work. I work so hard, so much harder than everybody else.
Got off work at 2:30 p.m. and I had my after work.
I only had
beer.
2 beers at lunch. Yeah.
So that we could do that skit all day. I say that as a guy sitting right here in Europe. So it's fair. Scott, what do you make?
Man. This is straight out of a Guy Ritchie film. I love the interaction between these two. It should be called The Gentleman 2.
Good movie.
If there's anybody, look, I know we were dunking, or at least I was dunking on Tom Brady's conversation last week and how he was talking about Scottie Scheffler, and I just did it right there too about his pyramid blocks and everything like that. But if there's anybody who could be the one to kind of question your work ethic, I think there are 3 dudes, maybe 4 dudes. One of them is Tom, the other one MJ, the other one Tiger Woods, and then maybe a Jack out of golf and everything like that, who just absolutely dominated their sport. So I think you could throw Peyton Manning in there too, probably. But anyway, those are the guys that could probably look at even a peer of theirs, like in that upper echelon of athlete and success and all that kind of stuff, and still point and be like, there's a reason why you're not Ronaldo. There's a reason why you're not Messi. And that's why.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, it's pretty bold, Tom, to come over there and then knowing also you're being filmed. This is for sure going to make it into the doc, but Tom just like not really caring. It seemed like he has like, yeah, cool, soccer player, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the vibe that Tom was giving off there. And I want to see, what is the club? Is it what is the soccer club that he's currently the coach? It's not called coach. It's called manager. Plymouth Argyle. Okay. There it is. Okay. Just funny to see Tom Brady coming in and just laying down the law. I mean, no athlete or coach is ever going to have the work ethic that Tom Brady has. Let's pivot to this. This is funny. Well, actually, I think it's funny. I'm curious what you guys think. Okay. So the MLB did a game inside of a NASCAR racetrack. Scott, do you have this? Okay. The Speedway Classic, the MLB's first game at a racetrack and the first in Tennessee. Did set a new record for an MLB regular season game in attendance. That's because what are these racetracks hold like 300,000 people or something in it. So we do have 2 great American cultural pillars right here getting combined into one thing. I think it's a little bit funny, but it's kind of sick. The drone shot coming in. It's crazy how big those the stadiums are. Origins of NASCAR.
Oh yeah.
You know it?
Oh
Scott,
yeah.
you know it? Mike, do you know it?
One.
Bootlegging. Bootlegging. Yeah. So it's like iconic American tradition, like bred out of these political situations in America into this sport that like this whole region of the country loves so much. Pretty cool. What do you guys think?
The best things are always things that are bred out of necessity, right? So the guys needed their booze, and this is what generated and created such an incredible thing that you now have stadiums and tracks that hold 300,000 people.
So they could make cars fast enough to get away from the police, and now NASCAR celebrates this speed. Iconic. So I do ask again, do you guys think this is cool, or is it kind of like, all right, we're kind of forcing it here? What do you think?
I think it's cool to watch it on TV. I don't think it'd be as good as an event to be at in person. You know, it's like when you go to games, like playing at USC or something, and they have a whole third of the stadium covered with tarps to make it look like the seats aren't empty, you know, and it's just kind of like trying to force the thing to work, and it looks like a little patchworky. So, I mean, on TV, it looks awesome, but I think it takes a little bit away from the in-person experience.
This is kind of sick right here. How, like, they should do a football game in one of those. I mean, it would just make more sense geometrically also. Like, the speedway is pretty rectangular, isn't it?
Yeah, but you'd be so far away from the action. That's the weird thing, too, is like, I think this as a spectacle, it's one of those things that I bet you a lot of fans here, they're probably like, okay, we're not going to get the best of views, but we're going to be here and we're going to be able to say that we've been here and we're there during that time. And it's like, it is pretty cool. Like what they got to put together really quickly and getting fans out there.
Can we highlight like the celebrations were kind of sick. Like when a home run was hit. Do we have that here?
Yeah.
Who was it? Eli White hit a home run.
Field, it
Hits a home run.
Eli White with a 3-run home run to put the Braves in front.
They cut to. Right? I thought they showed the car. Oh, yeah, there we go.
There we go.
There's your car.
There's a car?
That's kind of sick.
That's so cool.
From shooter to
And that just shows the car. I mean, this is one of those memes. It's like the European mind cannot comprehend this. Incomprehensible. They just see a black screen if they would watch this. You can't.
Oh my gosh.
Can't comprehend it. So that's kind of sick. And then also one of the guys also had like Ricky Bobby shoes on. So like I said, blending of American cultures right here. And Talladega Nights really was sort of America and trying to establish its dominance over Europe. And the way that we just saw Tom Brady try to do that with Wayne Rooney. It was like Will Ferrell's character, Ricky Bobby, trying to establish his dominance over Sacha Baron Cohen's French guy who likes
the F1 driver.
Yeah. So
look, I love that there's like experimentation, especially in the league of the MLB. You're right. They had the Field of Dreams game a few years ago, if I remember correctly. And then I don't know if I love it for every single sport, because I don't know if you guys have ever been to a Final Four or an NCAA tournament that's placed in an NFL stadium, but that viewing experience is absolute.
Yes. Yeah. I haven't, I mean, I've just seen them and it's just like, whoa, okay, that's kind of silly. One that I do think is really cool that I wish that they would, and I don't know, the logistics have got to be insane and it's probably really expensive, but when they do like the basketball games on the aircraft carriers, that is so sick.
Those are cool.
Would a football game work on that? I mean, those things are like 300 meters long, aren't they? Like a football field would fit fine on that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but the state, you wouldn't be able to get much standing. Like,
yeah, sure. That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
you got to get another. You get a couple more boats around. You put the stands on the boat on the track. I don't know, but so like some of those are pretty cool. But yeah, if they, or it's like when they put the ice hockey rink inside of an NFL stadium, it's like
yeah. It's I think it's all for the fan to say that they were there and the experience and everything like that, because it's not the best, like just the whole dimensions and the orientation doesn't necessarily fit, and it's not conducive to getting a good view. It's like you would actually have a much better view if you were sitting on your couch, warm, comfortable, watching it from the TV perspective and everything like that.
Well, hey, that comes back to when we talked about the other week of like, what's the best sport to watch in person versus what's the best sport to watch at home? A lot of sports are pretty good to watch at home. They are pretty good.
All of them.
All right, there we have it. Some drama, some beef in the NFL, some sophomore quarterbacks with some questionable moves here, and Tom Brady just backhand slapping Wayne Rooney. USA. All right, there we have it.